Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jared Allison. I am here with a housing market report for the month of June, and there's some exciting things that are happening. We're seeing some of the same trends that we saw in my report from May. I'll put a link to that right up here in the corner. And so with active inventory and new listings, we're still seeing some of the same positive trends. We're also going to cover what the average mortgage rates have been for the past month, as well as what these lumber prices are doing. So make sure you stay tuned. Welcome back to the housing market report for the month of June. And before I jump into it, I wanted to say, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that alert bell, so that way you get alerts when I make and put out new videos such as this one. So what we're going to start off with is the national statistics. So I'm going to share my screen here. This is from the National Association of Realtors, and we're going to scroll down. So June sales of existing homes increased almost 23% from June 2020. There's a graph here going back from June all the way to June of this year, so we can see that increase of existing home sales. Moving down to the next chart here, which is median sales price of existing home sales. Regionally, all four regions showed double-digit price growth from a year ago. The Northeast had the largest gain of 23.6%, followed by the South with an increase of 21.4%. The Midwest showed an increase of 18.5%, and the West had the smallest price gain of 17.6% compared to June 2020. And just take a second to look at some of these median sales price here. For the US, $363,000 compared to what it was last year of $294,000. So these are pretty significant increases over the past year that we've had. All right, so this next section here talks about inventory, and this is where it gets pretty exciting. We're starting to see some trends. We saw them last month. We're seeing them this month, where the inventory is actually increasing, and we're going to see that in some of the Florida statistics that I'm going to show you here in just a minute. June's inventory inclined 4.1% from last month, standing at 1.26 million homes for sale, and indicating some slight easing of the tight inventory condition. However, compared with June of 2020, inventory levels are 18.2% lower. This would mark 25 straight months of year-over-year declines. It will take 2.6 months to move the current level of inventory at the current sales pace, well below the desired pace of 6 months. So basically what they're saying is we only have, this is on a national level, 2.6 months of inventory of homes for sale. Normally 5 or 6 months, that's where it's kind of balanced out. Anything greater than 5 or 6 months, it becomes a buyer's market. Anything less becomes a seller's market. We're still at that 2.6 month inventory right now. So right now it's still a very, very high seller's market right now. This next section, demand remains strong as home buyers are snatching listings quickly off the MLS, and it takes approximately 17 days for a home to go from a listing to a contract in the current housing market. A year ago, it took 24 days. And what you're going to see is in the Florida statistics, that is going to hold true, except those numbers are going to be even more extreme. We're going to see some time to contract down to 6 days. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So the rest of these slides are going to pertain to the state of Florida. We're going to start off with the state of Florida and then move into a few counties that are here in Central Florida. And this is a comparison year over year for the month of June. So we're comparing June of 2020 to June of this year. And let's go ahead and jump in and look at the new listings. Compared to this time last year, we're actually up 21%. So that's a big change compared to what it has been in the previous months. And we're starting to see that positive trend on new listings as well as active inventory when we look at the previous 3 or 4 months. Let's move on to active inventory for the state of Florida. Year over year comparison, it is down 47%. However, if we go back just a couple of months, we're starting to see a positive trend on the active inventory. Time to contract is down 81%. It only takes 8 days to get a contract now, which is Again, it is an insane market. It is a highly extreme seller's market right now. As soon as you hit the market, you have to be ready to sell. We are down from 43 days last year to 8 days this year, and some of the others, specifically some counties, are even less than that. Moving on to median sales price. Compared to this time last year, the median sales price is up 25% from $282,000 to $351,000. And right now, the state of Florida has about a 1.2 month supply of inventory of homes for sale. And let's move on over to that line graph. And what we want to focus on here is the past couple of months, starting somewhere about April, May, and June. And we're going to start seeing, we actually have been seeing a positive trend of new listings and active inventory. So if we're looking at the trend of active inventory is actually increasing. So the housing market is slowly starting to go back the other way. However, we are not fully back to where we used to be. If we look at active inventory, I have it right here for May 2018 and May 2019. It was somewhere just above 90,000 homes actively on the market. Right now, we currently sit at almost 35,000 homes, so we're still not quite back to where we were 2019 numbers. However, we are starting to see those trends go in that direction. Let's move on to Volusia County. So new listings for Volusia County year over year comparison is up 36%. So we're seeing that positive trend there compared to what it was last year. And active inventory is down compared to what it was last year, so down 42%. That time to contract is down 85%. So let's jump back real quick. In Florida, it was 8 days. In Volusia County, it's 7 days. We're down from 47 days time to contract down to just 7 days. So again, once you go on the market, you have to be ready to sell. Median sales price is up 21% from $235,000 in June of 2020 to $285,000 in June of this year. And for Volusia County, we have a 1.1 month supply of inventory of homes for sale. And jumping over into the line graph, this is the same one from the previous chart, but specifically for Volusia County. Let's look at going back to April, May, and June. You can see those numbers are actually starting to trend in the upward direction. So we're starting to see, again, we're starting to see that change in the housing market. But like I said from the previous slide, the overall state of Florida, we only have about 35,000 homes for sale that are actively on the market compared to what it was in 2018, 2019, which was just above the 90,000 mark. All right, so let's jump into Seminole County. New listings in Seminole County, not much of a change there compared to what it was last year, up only 4.5%, but active inventory, again, we're seeing some of the same trends throughout even the national level, and the local level. We're seeing some of the same trends. Active inventory is down compared to what it was last year, down 46%. Time to contract this year again is down from 16 days to 9 days only, so that's a 62% change there. Median sales price is again increasing, as we saw in the previous slides and on the national level. It's increased 17% from $325,000 to $380,000 for that median sales price. Seminole County only has a 0.8 month supply of inventory for the market, and if we go and look at the graph on the left here, again, we're seeing that same positive trend in the housing market for new listings and active inventory. We're starting to see those numbers increase. Again, still not back to where it was in the 2018-2019 timeframe. However, we are trending back to those numbers. All right, Lake County. I've got a lot of family in Lake County. All right, moving on to Lake County. I've actually got a lot of family that lives out in Lake County, so I wanted to cover this one so they could see what's going on. But new listings are up 21% compared to what it was last year. Active inventory is down right about 49% compared to June of last year, and that's been pretty consistent through the last couple of slides that we've looked at. Time to contract, we are down from 38 days to only 6 days. You put your house on the market on Monday, you're under contract by Saturday. How crazy is that? So like I said, it's down 84%, and that's been a steady trend. Now nationally, as we looked at before, it's about 17 days, but when you start getting into specific markets, it's even less than that. And as you can see in Lake County, it's down to only 6 days on the market. So like I said, when you put your house on the market, you have to be ready to sell, and that's why you need a qualified agent in order to help you through that process. Median sales prices, again, the same trend here. We're up 15% compared to what it was last year, from $267,000 to $306,000. So a pretty significant increase. If you decided to hold off on selling it last year and you want to sell it this year, you're going to make about 15% more than you would have last year. Lake County has about a 0.9 month supply of inventory, but again, I put these graphs down here at the bottom just so we can see for every local market here that we're seeing those same positive trends overall. If we look at here, it really starts in May and June. We're seeing that same positive trend that we've been seeing in the previous slides. Jumping into Orange County. Now Orange County is a really big market, and it spreads out quite a big area over Central Florida. So let's jump right into that one. New listings are up 16%, and active inventory again down 49%. Time to contract, we are seeing it down 75% for Orange County, and that is 24 days all the way down to 6 days now. So again, if you list your house on a Monday, chances are you're going to have a contract by Saturday, if not sooner, depending on the exact location of your house. Moving into the median sales price, you're going to get more money if you waited till this year to sell your house compared to last year. You're going to get about 23% more on your home. So last year, $325,000 was the median sales price, up to almost $400,000 this year. Orange County has a 0.9 months supply of inventory. And then again, let's look at that line graph down below. And if you look all the way back to the March of last year, you can see where those numbers, they were decreasing on active inventory, and new listings were staying about the same. Now we're starting to see that active inventory come back, as we also are seeing the new listings. We're starting to see more and more listings as well. And Flagler County, some of the same trends we're seeing here as well. In new listings, we are up 27%. Active inventory, we are down 60%. Time to contract, again, another one of those huge milestones, those huge markers that has been dropping since this time last year. We are down 87% from 53 days, almost 2 months last year. We are down to just 7 days, 1 week this year. So from 53 days down to 7 days, that is a huge drop compared to what it was last year. Median sales price is up 19%. So again, you're gonna make more money this year if you waited to sell your home. Flagler County has a 0.9 month supply of inventory. And again, we're starting to see those same trends on that line graph down below. Now this slide shows a couple of charts for the state of Florida. This first one here is the median sales price that dates all the way back to 2008. I thought this was pretty interesting to see how this has been trending upwards. And 2008, it was somewhere right around the $200,000 mark, and then it dropped off. As we all know, we had the recession there in 2008, 2009. And then things started picking back up, and it looks like in 2012, and continued to increase. And look at the difference between 2009 and 2021. 2021, we are almost to $350,000 on the median sales price. And the next chart down below is the average mortgage interest rates. But before we jump into that chart, the average interest rates for the month of June for a 30-year mortgage, it was 2.98%, still sub 3. You know, you have to meet certain requirements on your credit score and income level and everything like that, and that's what you want to talk to your mortgage broker about. Still seeing some sub 3 interest rates being offered out there. For the 15-year, it's 2.27, and the 5/1 ARM right around 2.56%. Now, this chart that I have on here shows the historical data, and these are for 30-year mortgages. I didn't put in the 15 and the 5/1 ARM because those didn't really exist way back when, and so I just left it at the 30-year mortgage. However, it goes all the way back to 1971, where interest rates used to be 8%, almost 8%, and then as the years progressed, look at that, 1981, it was just over 16%. I could not imagine buying a house right now for a 16% mortgage rate. I don't even want to pay that on my credit card, a 16% mortgage rate. And from 1981, we've seen a downward trend all the way through 2021, where we are now sub 3 on the interest rates. But I thought this would be kind of a cool chart to show you the historical data of the mortgage interest rates and how they have been trending to where we are now. And lastly, we have the lumber future prices, and what this is the price per 1,000 board feet. And I've dated this one all the way back to June of 2016, and I've carried it all the way through June of 2021, just so we could take a look at what the market has done over the past several years. We can see that peak there in April and June of 2018, and then it dropped back off and carried pretty steady until April of 2020, where it dropped off, and then it really started picking up. And I actually talk about this in another video. I'll put a link over here in the corner, so look for that, go watch that. I go into a little bit more detail about why the lumber future prices increased the way they did and why they're coming back down and how that correlates to the housing market. So go check that video out. All right, guys, that wraps up this housing market report for the month of June. I really hope you found it informational. If you don't mind, and if you did find it informational, please go hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that alert button, so then that way you are notified when I post more videos like this one. And the housing market report, I actually post once a month to cover everything that's going on. The data gets released about this time, and I put it together so I can present it to you guys. Again, I appreciate you staying with me in this video, and I do hope to see you again at the next one. We'll see you soon.
You ain't seen nothing like this.